Hey there, guys. Sean Michael here from WinBeta. I'm extra bouncy today. And welcome to episode 45 of the WinBeta Podcast for the week of December 11th, 2015. With me is co-host Zach Bowden.
Hey, everybody.
There we go, Zach. And we'll be talking about all sorts of things this week. First off, I apologize if my audio is a bit off. As you can tell, I'm out of my usual spot, so I'm on a little bit of a Jimmy rig with my setup. So, hope it doesn't blow out. I'll do my best not to yell. But we got lots of stories this week. We got OneDrive news, we got Windows 10 mobile news, we got extension Redstone kind of things, we got Microsoft giving away things. Tons of news this week, tons of good news this week, in my opinion. And honestly, the first thing is, Zach, we have finally complained enough. We had podcasts on it. There were posts on it. I think someone did a petition for it. And it's finally here. So I will bow down to you to listen to your OneDrive glorious return of free storage.
It's great news. And the funny thing is they kind of just announced it in a tweet. Like, this is what we've come to these days. It's just like, just say it on Twitter. It's fine. In 140 characters, you get to keep your OneDrive storage, but only if you do something about it. Because this isn't... Users who are on the service right now don't get to keep the storage unless you tell them you want to keep it. So you have to go to this certain website, press a button, and then you get registered into keeping your storage, which is stupid, right? I would just keep it for everybody, but apparently not. You have to register. So, I mean, if you're not clued up about this and not like into technology news and whatever else, you probably won't click this button and Microsoft will take your storage away, which is sad news, obviously. But that's kind of how I think they're going to get around most people losing their free unlimited storage. Also, Sean, the link in the OneDrive isn't the right link. So no, it's not. I'll find it manually, I think. So yeah, no, it's good news. So if you are a OneDrive user who has whatever it is, your unlimited storage, you should be able to keep that now. If you have an Office 365 subscription. I think another way they'll get around it is that they'll stop offering unlimited storage with Office. So eventually, anyway, you will lose it. But it's not like they're pulling it from under your feet now, which is better. I'm happy with it. I mean, the only complaint I would have is the fact that it's not like for everyone. It's like you have to press a button. So here's what they actually said in their statement. In November, we made a business decision to reduce the storage limits for OneDrive. Since then, we've heard clearly from our Windows and OneDrive fans about the frustration and disappointment we have caused. We have realized the announcement came across as blaming customers for our product, for using our product. For this, we are truly sorry and would like to apologize to the community. This is an actual sorry letter from Microsoft.
I'm so
this
sorry.
Never happens.
Look at that. They must have really... Ooh.
Never apologizes. While we are not changing our overall plans, we'd like to clarify what we are doing for customers impacted by the change and share a new offer with which we hope will go a long way in making the situation better for our biggest fans. Office 365 Home, Personal and University subscriptions will include 1 terabyte of storage. Any subscriber who received additional storage as part of our unlimited offer will keep it for at least 12 months. For anyone unhappy with the decision to not offer unlimited storage, we will offer a full refund. Okay, so yeah, like I said, they're not going to keep you. You don't get to keep
the unlimited thing is pretty simple.
But 1 terabyte's enough, I think, for me anyway. I mean, I'm not storing big terabytes of storage on OneDrive. I mean, most of that's on local storage. So,
but the big change is for free, yeah.
Yeah, for customers who of our free service who have over 5 gigabytes of content and who are directly impacted by the storage change, we will offer 1 free year of Office 365 Personal, which includes 1 terabyte of storage. These customers will receive an email with redemption information early next year. In addition, for our biggest fans who have been loyal advocates for OneDrive, we are adding a new offer that lets you keep your existing 15 gigabytes of free storage when the change happens next year. If you also have the 15 gigabyte camera roll bonus, you'll be able to keep that as well. From now until the end of January, you can sign up and keep your storage at the link below. So that's the link I was talking about. You have to click on.
And you have to click this button. So share it with your friends on Facebook.
And then they sign off with, "We are genuinely sorry for the frustration this decision has caused, and for all it was and for the way it was communicated. Thank you for sticking with us. You're lucky we are, mate." I was almost gone.
I don't understand why. Like, we had a whole go look at our whole podcast on, like, that wasn't the whole thing, but it was a while on this OneDrive storage stuff. I don't get why they thought that this was going to go over smoothly. I think it could have been safer if they just grandfathered it in. If they just said, look, if you're on it now, you keep it. Any new customers, you get this, blah, blah, blah. And then they could talk about if they knew these like 50 users or whatever that were abusing it, just go call them. Just Skype them, mate. Just figure it out. But I'm glad that they've changed it. I think it's a bit weird you have to press a button. I really think it should just be automatic. Because like you said, if we're in this 24/7, with Twitter feeds and your Facebook feed and everything like that, and we're gonna know about it. But is my mom gonna know about this? Are my friends gonna know about this? I'm gonna have to put this on. I'm gonna have to put this on like Facebook and be like, hey guys, if you use OneDrive, make sure to do this. It's literally clicking. I was already logged into my Outlook account or whatever. I think I had to click 2 buttons and it was fine. So I don't even know. It's 2 buttons. I don't know why it's like they're trying to trick you out of 10 gigabytes, which to them is like nothing.
Yeah.
Like what's 10 gigabytes to Microsoft? Even if it's by a million users, like they can deal with that. They got storage places. They're building them in Ireland, and they got all sorts of cloud storage places. So I'm really confused about this, but I'm glad that we're finally getting it. And like you said, a real apology from Microsoft. They said I'm sorry a bunch of times.
Yeah, they did, and which is a rarity for Microsoft. They never say sorry.
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar companies don't usually apologize.
It's
just in general.
They don't. That's kind of the best bit about this. Even if they just said sorry and didn't give us anything, I'd be like, well, they said sorry. They mean business.
I don't know what an apology. Yeah, an apology means. I won't do it again, though. That's what some of you say that to me. I used to have a bad habit of saying I'm sorry too much. I still do. And someone said sorry means I won't do it again. So Microsoft.
Does it really? Does it really?
I don't want a story. I don't want a story in 2016 saying it's ending. Hey guys, we gave it to you for a year, now it's gone again. No, whatever.
Maybe there was like a problem with their service, which is why they did this in the first place. TFW Broadman says, "Thing is, this is somewhat of a good strategy to get rid of inactive accounts." Which, I guess it would be.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah.
Maybe they're just doing a big clear out. And to hear clear out.
Maybe that's what companies should do. Like Facebook and Twitter should just be like, if you don't use your account for the next year, we're taking it back. It's like that's how companies can do this.
I guess that's allowed, really.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so good news though. Good news. 15 for me personally. 15 gigs is a lot for my everyday use.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not throwing hundreds of gigabytes worth of stuff on OneDrive. I mean, I'm photos and documents. That's what it's like.
And then the camera roll bonus too. So I think I'm going to end up with 30. So I'm good. So there you go. Yeah, sweet. Well, good news there. We got more good news on the Microsoft front, kind of. More coming soon. Good news. So as we all know, Microsoft Edge is the browser that everyone tried once and then realized that it didn't have extensions and then never used it again. Right? No, I use Edge a lot, but a lot of people do, I think.
Other people did dismiss it that easily. No extensions,
I really do think people were like, they logged in like, there's no extensions. Download Chrome, download Firefox, whatever. Well, all those people, maybe they'll take a look now because extensions are on the way. Someone found a site. We've
known this for a while. We know.
Yeah. This isn't new. What is new is that they spotted a Twitter guy.
They spotted a Twitter guy?
A Twitter guy spotted H0X0D. Hoxod.
I don't know.
All right. Is he famous in the industry?
He finds a lot of things.
Sweet. Anyway, he appears to have found a dedicated web page from Microsoft asking Windows insiders to begin testing extensions for Microsoft Edge. There were a couple extensions that were being worked on. Let's see, the webpage actually has links to 2 extensions for Edge, which include Pinterest and Reddit. And then we also found out later that popular ad blocking extension AdBlock or AdBlock Plus. I don't know.
What's the difference between AdBlock and AdBlock Plus?
The plus, mate. That's the difference. What kind of question is that? It's right there. You just said the diff. No, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, is it bad or good? Is this Plus better or worse? Why would Plus be worse?
I think what this really means, in effect, is that the extensions that we know are coming are being tested or will soon be tested, not just internally, but by some amount of insiders and that sort of thing. So the folks on the Redstone builds, I imagine, in the relatively near future, though to point out I have no idea when that relatively means, we'll start testing out some of these extensions, which is a good thing. Like I said, a lot of people won't use Edge until it has them.
Yeah, no, and the web page itself that was revealed was kind of a web page saying, so with this new build that insiders have, you can do this, this, and this. So it was published early, so I would say it's close, and Microsoft has been doing lots of preparations to get a build out. Whether they tell you what, if they don't have a build out by the end of next week, then it's not happening this year, because next week I believe is when they start their holidays.
This is the podcast. They can't come out with extensions when we're not here.
Yeah, exactly. Once the podcast is over with, they can't do anything till we're back. That's how it works.
Exactly.
So, yeah, if it's not sometime next week, then it won't be this year. But I mean, we still got 1 week to hope. 1 week to hope.
But this isn't that surprising in the first place. Like you said, one, we knew it was coming, and two, extensions were originally slated to be coming out earlier.
Yeah.
This year anyway. It wasn't like they said extensions will come in 2016 and then they somehow like moved it.
You're right. It was delayed.
It was originally supposed to be like a month ago. And so this is really just like a delay, and now we're starting to see how long of a delay it's going to be. It looks like hopefully it's only going to be a couple months before Insider, and then who knows when they'll publicly roll out to everyone. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but I actually can say you and I said we don't use extensions, but after using Edge as my primary browser and seeing how often I have to actually use Chrome for certain extensions, I actually can see why this is important.
Yeah. And I mean, it'll be better for normal consumers as well, who do need their special extensions to watch Netflix in the USA, in the UK, and whatever else they use it for.
I use a Slingbox all the time, and the app for Windows is but the extension for Chrome is actually really solid. Like, it's a great extension. So,
I mean, yeah, there are some great extensions out there.
And that does a lot for me. So.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Redstone features,
segue.
You see, you point it out. Speaking of Redstone's features, another report about Redstone was unveiled this week, talking about more features coming in Redstone. Because if you don't know, Redstone is going to be a big update, or at least the first release will be a big update for Windows 10 users, and will include new features. And two more of these features have been revealed, or one feature, I guess. Floaty Cortana, I'm calling it.
Ooh.
Floaty Cortana. So if you've ever played like Halo or Destiny or Portal, I guess.
If we've ever played Halo.
And you got like the ball that follows you around. This is what Cortana's going to be like in Windows 10 Redstone. She's going to float around and help you out. Which
like Clippy?
I would seriously not be surprised if this feature was codenamed like 343 Guilty Spark or something from Halo, because it's just like, I should probably explain what the feature is first. So the feature is Cortana will receive the ability to float around on the Windows 10 interface contextually, acting as a search tool instead of just hiding in a corner on the taskbar. Now, this isn't as annoying as it sounds. I did say this on Twitter because the report did make it sound like Cortana would just be so annoying all of a sudden. But no, it's less like Clippy 2.0 and a little bit more contextual and intuitive, I guess.
Hey there, I see you're trying to open Google Chrome. Have you tried Microsoft Edge?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
That'd be Clippy 2.0.
Yeah, it'll be. But when somebody first explained this to me, they said it was Ask Cortana, but everywhere. Because like when if you use Edge, you can select text Ask Cortana, kind of like that. So it's like, Ask Cortana, whatever this is, or whatever that element is, or whatever this window's doing. And yeah, it'll be a little bit like that. So a lot more. It'll be like, it won't be annoying. So.
No, I think it's a cool feature. I found myself wanting Cortana features and the Ask Cortana thing to be in places where I haven't found her. So I'm all for this.
Yeah. Also, the same report, I think this was by Tom Warren, on mobile. My goodness, I can't think today. On mobile, Cortana on tap. Cortana in the future will reportedly include an on tap functionality similar to Google Now currently. Google Now, providing contextual information from selecting text in line with the mentioned plan for Cortana on desktop. Yeah. So Cortana's becoming more everywhere with Redstone, which is not a bad thing, I guess, because people don't seem to. Well, I mean, I imagine you lot do, but I mean,
I'm sure our listeners are very aware.
Yeah, the average person don't really know that Cortana's just a Bing. It's just Bing with a skin, and I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line Microsoft actually rebrands Bing as Cortana. So the Bing search engine, Cortana search engine. Which, I mean, it could work, right? I was thinking about this earlier. So you have Google and Yahoo, or well, not yet, just Google and Cortana. Google. You're like, oh, you just wait, but then does Cortana that work?
No,
nah, not
you
really.
You could say ask Cortana
you could say ask Cortana.
Say Google that or ask Cortana. I could see that being popular. You just be like, oh, I don't know, and someone's just like, dude, just ask Cortana, and you're like, hey, Cortana, what's this? Ooh, that's clever. See, Microsoft, Zach and I, we're smart fellas.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Microsoft actually implement this feature itself, because right now it's only concepts and whatever. Maybe concepts. I'm not entirely sure if they've actually gone further with it. But yeah, it's like, yeah, Cortana will float or become more convenient and consistent to you when you need her the most.
I hope that doesn't hurt background task power stuff, though, because at the moment, Cortana's just kind of always running.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that would change if she's all of a sudden everywhere.
But if she's doing more, then she would be
I don't know if she'll be doing more. I just think she'll be more easily accessible.
Well, but if she's like scanning pages and stuff, looking for things...
Oh, people are going to get so annoyed at that. Oh, privacy, Cortana's reading everything I do.
Now she's reading my love notes to my partner. Oh, man.
You know what, guys? It's the 21st century. Skynet is here. Just get used to it.
Like we said, Terminator was sponsored by Microsoft, even though it's about a unified operating system taking over the world.
It's about, yeah.
That's a whole lot
like Halo 5.
It's not quite Microsoft, though, because everyone was using Skynet phones. So this is not quite Windows.
Not yet, anyway.
It would be like the PCs of Microsoft and the phones of Apple, where if they were like one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, I think, good stuff for Cortana. In fact, she's making more jumps too. So she's learning and becoming more powerful inside of Windows 10, but she's also becoming more powerful in other areas as well, most notably iOS, Android, and I don't even know how to pronounce this, Cyanogen
OS.
It's a type of, it's like a branch off of Android, yeah?
Yeah, I wonder why it's just like, just say Android, because it's still Android, right?
Well, maybe it's, I think with Cyanogen it gets deeper. Cyanogen gets deeper system integration, I think, than standard Android does.
I see.
I think.
Okay.
So there are some functional differences, that sort of thing. So anyway, we knew this was coming. iOS, Cortana, she came to, or I think technically it's gender neutral, even though the icon looks like a woman. But so Cortana appeared on iOS beta test and that sort of thing, and now it's rolled out. So that means Cortana is now available on iOS, Android, Cyanogen, Windows 10 PCs, Windows 10 mobile, and obviously Windows tablets, which are running the same operating system.
She's everywhere.
She is everywhere. And I have to say, she does look like she could be the mother of that little Skynet kid from the new Terminator movie. Like, they're the same tints. Like, they really do look kind of... If you told me that, like, they were related, I'd be like, yeah, I'd believe that. At least, like, from the same region or, something like that. But in any event, so she's there now. I think it's pretty cool. If you actually look through the features that she can't do, such as like there's some deep system integration that she can't do on iOS and Android, but she can do a lot of things. So in the article that we have here, it says, oh, she doesn't provide the deep integration here, like toggling settings. She can do things like reminders, syncing across devices, missed phone call notifications, and if you're on Android phone with or Android device with a Windows 10 PC, you can even get like missed call notifications that you can then respond to via SMS through Cortana. Even though you're on an Android phone, through Cortana, you can send that SMS.
Yeah, that makes sense on Android, but iOS...
Yeah. No, who knows?
Being iOS, Cortana just sits there like, well, I'm in this little box. I can't come out of this box. Oh, look, I can connect to the surface of Microsoft. There's a reminder you did, but I can't actually put this reminder anywhere in the system. So there you go.
But with the Android, that's a pretty good level of integration there. For a non-Windows device, you get the SMS response through Cortana on your. That's pretty cool.
Does that mean since it's not a beta no more? It's completely public, right?
I guess.
So does the phone companion app on Windows 10 actually say Cortana's available now? No, it still says coming soon. Did they forget that app exists?
I don't know. I just used it earlier today. I don't know. It is useful, but it's not. Yeah, apparently it's not updated.
Wow, there you go. But at least it's everywhere now. I mean, I wrote about this. I'm sure I've said this before. I wrote about this in December 2014, a year ago now.
Yeah.
That Cortana was coming to everything.
Yeah, let me get specifically on the Cyanogen. No, I can't be in the live stream today, so some of the commenters may have already pointed this out. We have on the article, we have like a little box, some sort of advertisement with Cyanogen and Cortana. It says, "Hey Cortana, meet Cyanogen with the deepest integration available on any Android device. Cortana makes your life easier by intelligently handling tasks both big and small." And then it's got a logo for Cyanogen and Cortana there. So that tells me that their big push is that on that, as opposed to regular, you're getting a deeper integration. So that's pretty cool. Actually, I spoke earlier. I said that it's available now. Apparently, Cyanogen is actually receiving Cortana later this month. So it's soon to be available on all those places.
Soon.
So yeah, but more than just regular, not normal Microsoft soon, Zach. Like this month actually.
This is Android soon, so.
Yes, it's actually happening soon. So there's that.
So yeah, and Cortana everywhere. So yeah, Cortana. This was Microsoft's goal with Windows 10 and Cortana. Have Cortana everywhere, because every Windows 10 users or Windows users aren't all Windows Phone users. The majority of the billions of Windows users who are out there have a non-Windows phone, and it just makes sense to have something that sits on your desktop here, available on any handset you have. So, it just gives Bing more of a use, really, doesn't it? Microsoft wants Bing to be useful and like people using Bing, and with this skin that they've applied to Bing, people are falling for it.
Well, but it is marketing, and that's fine. If this was called Bing on Android, which they probably have, to be fair, no one would use it.
Oh, you're right. Imagine it was just called Bing. Nope.
If it was just called Bing, no one would use it. But with Cortana, people say, "What's that?" Then maybe they played the video game. Like I said, Microsoft has a lot of people that use their products without identifying that it's connected to Microsoft. People who like the Xbox but don't care that it's made by Microsoft. They just wanted certain exclusives. People who use PCs just because they didn't want to use Macs, or maybe they just grew up with a PC. Maybe finances were an issue because the lower end PCs are cheap and easy to get. They have a lot of users that are on their system, but it hasn't translated to phone, and it hasn't translated to some of these other systems. And that's what you get with something like a Cortana app, where you're saying you have a Windows PC. 90% of people do that have PCs. If you have a PC, even if you're on Android, which 80% of people that have phones that are smartphones do. So you have 90% of the world has PCs. What is it? Is it 70 or 80% have Android? It's a massive market share
it's huge
in the world. So, and then you say, well, if you're one of the 90% with a PC or one of the 70 or 80% on Android, you can now do these things together through us.
Yep.
And then people say, oh, actually, that's a cool feature. And that applies to a large number. So even if only a fraction of the total number of people that this could apply to use it, that's still a lot of people who are going to try this out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Microsoft is like I said before, Microsoft is kind of drawing back their mobile strategy and pushing forward their services strategy, because it's easier to get services to people than to get people to switch to an entirely new platform. Why would somebody switch? People aren't going to switch to Windows 10 Mobile from Android or iOS anyway. But now you can actually have the Microsoft services on that phone instead. So instead of Microsoft trying to grab people and throw them onto a new platform just to use the services anyway, Microsoft just going, well, instead of you coming to us, let's come to you, because you're stubborn and you're not going to move. So here's our services for you. And then down the line, these will get better and people will start taking more interest in, hopefully, the mobile platform, whatever else, things, great stuff, right. Magic.
Well, it's almost like a freemium model. It should be. I'm sure this is their plan. If it's not, that's kind of silly on their part. It should be, we're going to give you this much now, even if you're on Android and iOS. But if you want everything, you got to come over.
It's like a free trial.
Yeah, but it's more than, it's almost like OneDrive. You get 15 free gigs, but if you want more, you have to pay for it, or complain when we try to take it away from you. No, but that is a similar model, right?
Imagine if Microsoft one day just announced, we're taking in all of the Lumias ever bought. You have to send them to us.
Send them back.
Send them back.
Factory recall.
Yes. Wow.
You can have my 930.
I'd hide them. Like, nope.
I've had such bad luck with my phone. If we have extra time at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, you've been complaining a lot about your 930. Is Windows 10 not doing well?
I don't know. Actually, we don't have that many stories. Briefly, I could talk about it here. My 930's always been a problem. First of all, I got this because it was the highest end Windows phone on the market, and I was excited when I moved to England that it was the 930 wasn't carrier specific like the Icon is, even though it's basically the same phone. And so I got it, and there are things about this phone that are great. The camera's great, the recording's good. I like the Windows Phone interface. Obviously, that's true on everything. But the things that are on this phone that aren't on my girlfriend's Lumia 640 aren't enough to me to justify both the cost jump and then the downsides. Maybe it's just this individual unit. I don't want to slander Microsoft or whatever and say every 930 is terrible. This individual 930, the battery's never been great. It's big, it's heavy. Obviously I'm on a preview software now, so that you take that with a grain of salt on performance. Performance has been fine, but it had some sort of glitch, and I don't know if it was a Windows 10 mobile glitch or if it was a 930 glitch or just some combination of them, and that can happen with preview software. But the whole thing fried, like bricked rather. And what I had to do was I had to prop open the back and remove the battery and reset the device manually. Which really?
The 930 can do that?
Well, the 930 does not have a removable. I'm sure if this was ever on warranty, it's voided now, especially because it's on air. I voided the warranty, I'm sure. The 930, if you remove the SIM card, you can actually pop out the back.
Interesting. What, and the battery actually just comes out?
No, the battery didn't come out very easily, and I'm sure that makes damages. But the phone was completely unusable, and the recovery tool wouldn't flash, it wouldn't respond, it wouldn't do anything. It was just bricked. And the recovery tool failed multiple times. There was just nothing I could do with it.
How did this happen? This is worst case scenario.
It just literally just happened. I was just using my phone, and it just froze. And then eventually I got it to swipe right, and it was on the all apps list, and it was just completely frozen on the all apps list.
My phone did the exact same thing, and I turned it off, and I haven't turned it back on since. Do you reckon mine's fried as well?
I don't know. I get bricked is probably more accurate. Fried is what happened when you remove a live battery. I'm sure that damaged it. I can't imagine removing a live battery is good for a phone.
I know.
Especially if a spark shows up, which would happen. So who knows? This device could just be ruined now. But
is it working right now, though?
It is working now, and it's working fine. Its battery's dead at the moment.
Did you have to reset the device, or did it actually just work after you reset?
It just worked after it. This is why you need phones with removable batteries, because stupid stuff happens that literally is fixed just by removing a battery and restarting the phone.
Yeah.
And they are now. 950 is removable back. So it would have been a much easier process. So I'm sure I've half broken my phone. It was almost completely broken when I did the solving. So in my opinion, I've reduced the level that it's broken. But,
I mean, that just counts as fixing it, right?
Yeah, well, I guess it's better than not usable, because I wasn't interested. I just bought Christmas gifts and stuff. I can't afford to buy more phones. So, hey, hi there. Oh, hello. She's back on. She says, "You're talking about me?" Yeah, I am.
Yeah, Cortana keeps popping up. I've seen lots of people complain about this. Cortana just randomly pops up now.
Yeah.
She just keeps doing it to me. It's like she'll just be like, the phone will be over there, and Cortana will be on. What are you doing, Cortana?
Can I tell you a little thing that I noticed? Then we can move on here or whatever. But cool thing. I think this is powered through Wi-Fi Sense on Windows 10. I entered the password to, this is my girlfriend's house that I'm at now, and I entered the Wi-Fi password like a year ago on a device. I have since refreshed factory whatever. I factory reset my phone, and I've refreshed my PC, or reset it, and yet somehow it remembered the Wi-Fi password.
It's your Microsoft account, I believe.
That's still pretty cool.
It is.
Because you get a new device, and it still remembers all the places. You don't have to re-enter if you get a new phone, I guess you don't have to log into the 10 different places that you use Wi-Fi, right?
No, yeah, you're right. It's just straight over, done.
Cool little feature. I'm not, just nice. Anyway, so there's that. But yeah, so that's my story with the 930.
You know what? Maybe an update will fix that, Sean. Speaking of updates, that was the most forced segue I've ever done.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, speaking of Windows 10 version 10,586.29 on a phone.
Microsoft released that. And they released it to everybody while in Windows 10 Mobile. So, insider or not, if you have a new Lumia 950, 950 XL, 550, and you're a normal person, you got an update.
You're a normal person.
Normal person. And
You're not an insider like me.
Again, this never happens in the world of Microsoft. So it appears, at first glance, that Microsoft bypassed carriers to send this update out. AT&T 950's got the update at the same time. An unlocked 950 XL or an Insider. Oh, I think the Insider's got it a couple of days before. But you know how it is. So yeah.
Well, we were talking about this pre-show. Yes, they bypassed carriers on this one instance, but does this really mean that they're going to bypass them in general? I don't know. Firmware updates, are they bypassed? Probably not. So we were talking about, like, what is this? How often is Microsoft going to straight up bypass carriers?
Yeah, and lots of people think not often. Not often. This one time, because the launch software for the 950s and 950 XL and 550 wasn't all that up to, performance standards and stuff. But Type.29 fixed a lot of things, and I think AT&T was just like, well, I can't be bothered. Send it.
There's probably like one dude at AT&T that even knows Windows 10 Mobile, and they were just like, Mike. And he's like, what? There's an update. He's like, I don't care. Just like send it. Obviously, they're a big company. They probably got lots of folks, but like, it was a big update. I thought .29 made a big difference over .11. So, yeah. Here's a question for you, Zach. Why is it like this with phones?
I have no idea. Because
can you imagine?
If I was a carrier, I would just not care, because it's more work for me to have to approve an update.
And if somebody breaks their phone, they have to buy a new one, and they're going to come back to me.
Yeah, I know why carriers do it. It's because when a phone breaks, it goes back to the carrier, right? It's the carrier's problem.
Well, it shouldn't be the carrier's fault if Microsoft breaks a phone.
But if you buy... Yeah, but it doesn't. But it's not the point. The fact is that the phone will be broken, and the user who has the phone, who got it from AT&T or whoever, will contact AT&T saying, "Yeah, I had an update and my phone broke." They're not going to contact Microsoft. AT&T might be like, "You got to go through Microsoft," but since the phone came from AT&T, AT&T would have to do the replacing and the fixing, or the replacing. So it's just more. It's less hassle for them to just not push updates out, just in case, so just to eliminate that problem or that idea of. An update bricking a phone.
Yeah, but can you... Yeah, I mean, I did just have a phone brick, but I didn't call... Well, I'm on an insider preview, so I'm a little different. But anyway, can you imagine, though, if this was on, like, your PC? Like, you order a brand new Surface Book, and you're just like, oh, it's just so attractive. It's shaped like a wedge of Swiss cheese, and it even has holes in it, just like delicious cheese. And you're like, oh, great, I love this. And then they're like, new... Windows 10 update, and it's like cumulative update K3444339, and you're just like, okay. And then Virgin Media is like, oh no, you can't download you can't download that update through our internet on your devices. I know it's not 1-to-1 because a lot of people, their phone is, like you said, directly connected to a carrier. They bought it through the carrier. They're on a payment plan through the carrier. But if I'm like unlocked but just using AT&T, shouldn't I just be able to do whatever I want with my phone?
Yeah, I mean,
I bought the phone. Like
you should tick it like an option in the contract. I want updates regardless of whether you think I should have them or not.
Well, I guess I can understand if you're on like a 24-month payment plan on your Samsung Galaxy 6S or your Lumia 950, and they cost like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I guess AT&T, like you said, it makes sense for them to just say, we're going to make sure your device works because you're on a 24-month contract with us. We don't want to upset you. But if I buy it outright, there should be like I bought this outright SIM-free. I'm allowed to break my own stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
Checkbox. I broke my own stuff checkbox.
I mean, the unlocked handsets, right? The unlocked handsets are technically Microsoft. So why can't Microsoft just push out updates for the unlocked handsets?
I guess that's what the insider's for.
Yeah, I mean...
They should have like a fast ring, a slow ring, and then like I own my phone and just want the official updates, but don't want to wait for the carrier's ring. That
would be great.
They should just do that.
But then carriers get mad. They can't do
carriers already hate them. Like, did you see the comments from the carriers? They're not exactly in great shape.
Nokia Lumia 10.
Yes, the Nokia Lumia 10.
But yeah.
Can't imagine what they'll call the service phone.
Microsoft could, in fact, be bypassing carrier updates. That's the.
It could be.
Could be.
Not for sure.
We won't know. And
this is why you need a chair when you do a podcast, Zach. I'm on a bed at the moment. It's not meant for sitting.
No, it's meant for lying down in.
That's true. Well,
Poll time.
Yes, poll time, poll time, poll time, poll time. Hope I don't get arrested because that's from Blue's Clues, except it says mail time. Anyway, so the poll this week was on what's the biggest Windows Phone story of 2015. We're going to be doing like a wind down, and it's going to be we do a poll each week on the biggest story, and this week was phones. I haven't decided what the other ones are. One of them is going to be, I think one of them falls on like New Year's Eve or the 30th or something like that. And that's going to be what was the big story of the year, just in general. I might even do a tournament of champions. I might do like phone, Windows 10, other, and then do like a champion one because I think I have 4 weeks. But anyway, this week was on phones. And the options are the launching of the Lumia flagships, the 950 and 950 XL, the development of Windows 10 Mobile as an operating system, Microsoft's new approach to Windows Phone, and lastly, and I put this in there, I think you're a big fan of this, Panos Panay being in charge of all premium devices. So I think they're pretty different stories here. In the terms of Windows 10 Mobile, there actually were quite a bit of stories this year. Let me ask you first before I get the results. What do you think the biggest story is?
For mobile?
Yeah, just for mobile. And it doesn't have to, for you and I, it doesn't have to be one of these 4 choices.
So I take it you're pulling this from Clicky?
What?
Oh, no.
No, I picked what the votes were based on things that I'd read, but I just kind of thought of these mostly myself. But what do you think the biggest story was related to mobile this year?
Biggest story related to mobile? That's a good question. I think it would be development of Windows 10 Mobile.
Well, you guessed wrong. No, it's your opinion. I think that's up there too. The fans, amazingly, they're big fans of Panos.
Oh,
out of over 1,100 voters, 45% said Panos Panay being in charge of premium devices. 31% said what you did, development. 13% said Microsoft's new phone launching, like the lines. And then 10% said the flagship. So only 10% of people. See, Zach. People go flagship. We want a flagship. And then they release them, and then the biggest story, it's fourth out of the what's the biggest story on our poll. Apparently they didn't really care if there was a flagship.
Didn't care that much.
Only 10% of people thought.
Although technically, Panos Panay being in charge of the Lumia handsets could kind of play into that.
I think that's people looking to the future. They're saying that when it comes to actually Windows 10 Mobile as a platform, that definitely has the biggest impact going forward, which I agree with. I mean, man behind the surface, very good public speaker. I can't believe we ever thought that. Wasn't there a talk that like he wasn't good at public speaking?
No, not Panos.
No? Well, okay.
Panos was a very powerful speaker.
But he's amazing.
It was Meyerson who wasn't very powerful.
Oh, okay. He's one of the best public speakers Microsoft has, in my opinion. He's great. He's great. Anyway,
he's so passionate when he speaks about his product.
You can tell he cares. He's like, I personally use this device every second of every day.
He knows every inch of the thing he's holding.
I know when you get like metal and you get like the little bumps. Like he goes, I know how many bumps. That's he knows that. But he says it in a way that's like not smug, but it's confident. He's like, yeah, we put 17,000 bumps on a phone. Yeah, we have the best screen in the market, but whatever. We're here to talk to you about cameras. So I think, he's probably the biggest one there, or at least one of the biggest. So that's it for the poll. I don't know what it is for next week. So if you guys want to make a suggestion. We are a real gaming site, so I probably won't do gaming in its own poll. It might just be like a non-Windows 10. It's just like biggest non-Windows 10 story of the year. That'd be like the Microsoft Band 2 HoloLens, which technically is a Windows 10 thing, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so there's that. I was a bit surprised that it was that overwhelming, though, for Panos. Are you surprised by that?
Not really. I mean, Panos Panay being in charge is big.
Yeah,
it means Surface phone.
Surface phones. Ooh.
Yes.
Someday. Hey, you know what I get if I got a Surface phone?
What?
And if it ran Win32 programs?
What?
I'd put full Skype on it and then do the podcast through it.
Yeah, that'd be something we would have to try out.
Yeah.
We should probably move on to the next story since we're...
Speaking of ways to connect your phone to things,
Microsoft is sending some insiders free hardware, which is nice. Yeah, hardware to test or to give feedback with, which is interesting. But yes. So earlier this month, Microsoft had started to expand its insider program to hardware. Or asking insiders whether they'd be interested in testing hardware out. Select Windows insiders have now been sent a series of special invites hinting that the program was due for some sort of expansion, and that those insiders that had provided Microsoft with an exceptionally detailed and quality feedback on Windows 10 Mobile, Insider Preview in particular, would somehow be involved. Along with this letter, there was a survey to complete and instructions for participants to inform Microsoft their mailing address, blah, blah, blah. Very little had been heard until yesterday, I think it was. Microsoft sent select insiders who did all of this special, stuff. Sent insiders a letter saying, "Guess what, guys? We're sending you a Lumia 950, a display dock, and a keyboard to test for us." So
that's a pretty sweet gig.
And I know, I get it absolutely free, apparently. Of course. So they're sending that out. They want them to test Continuum, I believe. That's what they're focused on. So I guess that would mean that Continuum is just the beginning for Continuum for phones, and there's more to come.
It's going to continue.
Continuum will continue. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. So free handsets for everyone, or to some people.
Not for everyone. I think I don't know how many people this was sent out to. It sounds to me like this is the, we have listeners and we have readers of the site who are like, I give feedback every day. I don't know if they have like a time schedule or it's just any time they ever see anything, they report it. I should probably report that app list bricking my entire phone thing.
Yeah, you should do. That's kind of what they were after.
Yeah, I'm going to do that because you had the same issue. So, I will do that. But in any event, there are people who are like, I report every day. It's just like they're on, insider previews on every one of their devices. They give feedback all the time. I think it's nice for Microsoft to reward these guys, but also not promise anything. Because if they said something like, if you give feedback every day, you get a free phone, then everyone would give feedback. You'd be like, feedback, bring back OneDrive. Next feedback, bring back OneDrive. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, they did say quality feedback.
Yeah, it's somehow they have to sort through that this is like good feedback. It's not just garbage to get free stuff. But the Insider program is one of the biggest things that Microsoft's done in the last few years, in my opinion. I mean, it's shaped the 2 operating systems.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful.
Poorly, but yeah.
You don't think the Insider program's helped?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying Windows 10 is a bit buggy and stuff.
Well, I don't think it's buggy because the Insider program.
That's what you think.
It's not like the insiders were like, here's my feedback, put this into the command prompts. And put this
engineers and Microsoft going, they want this, put it in.
Just copy and paste this guy's feedback right into the source code. No.
That's how it works now. It's a new engine. Just you say what you want and it magically works. Start button, enter. Start button's back.
Yeah, there you go. No, I think the
coding's easy these days.
It's just copy and paste, mate. No, it's not. Anyway, actually, you know what one device is that isn't running Windows 10 Mobile?
What?
The Microsoft Band 2.
Although it is getting updates, as it did this week, which I should probably open the link so I know exactly what came on. So yeah, Microsoft Band 2 got a pretty hefty update, one of which was a tile that now tells you what's new. And it looks like the Insider Hub tile. So you get music controls, it says now. You won't be able to see this because my webcam's poor. Activity reminder. So everybody who owns an Apple Watch who complains at the fact that it tells you to get up every hour, you can now have that on here as well, although it's very customizable. So I'll actually walk you through the customizers. So you can turn it on and off. So if you don't want it at all, you can turn it off. You can also choose how often it tells you to move about. So you can have 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or 120 minutes. So that's not too bad. I mean, at least it gives you an option. And you can also turn it on for a certain amount of time. So between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Then after that, it will just stop telling you to move about. And you can also change whether it's every day, weekdays, or just weekends.
Oh, that's nice. You can turn it off on the weekends.
Yes, I've already got it.
Or turn it off on weekdays, depending on your schedule.
Yeah, I've turned it off on the weekends because I do nothing on the weekends. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's also music controls now, so when you double tap the action bar, you see here, you now get buttons to change music, which is the most convenient thing in history because when it's cold in the winter and I haven't got gloves on and I'm listening to music and I don't like a song that's just come on, it's like I could change this song by going into my pocket, pulling out my phone, changing it, or I could keep my hands warm and just have to listen to it. But now...
Wait, but can you switch to Microsoft Band 2 with gloves on?
I don't know. Don't
this whole scenario is
question my logic.
Gloves,
no, but then if I'm not wearing gloves, I'm just instead of having to put my hands out in the cold for even longer, I just go like this.
You could just get those tech gloves that work with touchscreens.
I just go,
yeah.
Done. Next song, please. So yeah, pretty cool indeed. Let's see if there was anything else.
Well, I saw a commenter on our site. I don't have it up here. Sorry. He said this will be cool when he's driving like his bike. I don't know if he meant motorcycle or a bike.
Yeah,
but,
no, it will be.
But like if you're listening to music and you're like, yeah, I'm listening to music on my bicycle. Why do you go like this when you? Because your hands are pretty steady. Anyway.
You know, you shouldn't listen to music whilst you're riding a bike.
Really? What if you're on a motorcycle?
I guess when you're on a bike, you should kind of be driving with your eyes, obviously, and ears.
Even if you're in a motorcycle? Because they got like helmets with radios in them now, right?
I guess maybe not on a bike, but on a pedal bike.
Well, maybe it's not safe, so maybe don't do what this guy does. But if you are doing that, you can now change it just at a red light. And just be like, at a red light. I'd recommend not doing it when you're moving. At a red light, you can just like swipe instead of having to pull out a phone. Which, if you're on a motorcycle or a bicycle, please don't take out your phone. But maybe if you're at a red light and you just swipe like this, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So there you go. I think it's great. This is another one of these. Microsoft has hardware and then they shove more things into it, which the Band and the Band 2 are doing amazingly. Mm. They go, oh, did you know that the Band can track golf swings? And you're like, no. He's like, yeah. We shoved that in there last night.
But why would you want to track that? Because, I mean, I've never going to play golf with this.
Well, you might not, but other people might play.
But why, again, if you did, why would you want to track that?
Why would you want to? It could, like, tell you how far you are from the pin.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, because you, like, pre-download maps, I think. And so if you're out golfing, you drive it, and then you're on the fairway, and I think it can sit there and it can say, like, you're now 150. And you say, okay, what club should I use if I'm 150, feet from the hole? Mm. And the Band's actually giving you, like, useful feedback. So but anyway, cycling and all sorts of things. There's really only one sport, I think, that I wish that this supported, and that's swimming. I wish the Band was waterproof. Maybe the Band 3 will be. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing left, don't you? What do you want on the Band to make it perfect? Because it's getting a lot better.
Just again a better feeling hardware. Because I mean, the Band 2 is a big improvement over the Band 1, but it's not perfect.
No.
It's just the way it's designed. So better hardware.
There you go. You and I, we just want a smartwatch, man. Well, I actually wouldn't mind the Microsoft Band, to be fair, but man, I really just want a Microsoft smartwatch.
I would £200 or dollars for it. It's a little much, I think.
Yeah, that's true. And they put in so many sensors, which I can understand it being expensive, but like, I don't know. There are a lot of sensors in that thing. And I'd almost want like a Band. I don't know what you'd call the plus line, or the minus line, some sort of like it doesn't need galvanic skin detection or something. You know what I mean? Like, This is a fitness band, but it doesn't have everything. I don't know. And then it only costs like $80 something. So, yeah. Well, there you go. Do you have any other stories this week, Zach? We're about winding down. Do you have any funny Microsoft stuff?
No, other than the fact that I should complain to Microsoft about not having a Surface in stock. I had made my mind up, Sean. You know how I've been having this dilemma?
That's
Surface
true,
Book or Surface Pro 4. I had made my mind up.
What was your mind?
Surface Pro 4, 8 gig of RAM, Core i5. I don't need a Core i7. 256 gigabytes. Went to buy it, not in stock, and it's still not in stock. So
it's the holidays too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that might be Microsoft telling me to buy a Surface Book. That just might be like.
You have to tell me because you got to get me this money.
I've got the money. It's just that I don't know where to put it yet.
All right. Well, I don't know. I still think you're going to hate the Surface Book because the wedge, and you're going to have spent $1,500 on a thing that you don't like. But that's my opinion. I don't run your life. I can see Zach in like 3 months with like his Surface Book on a desk.
And the dust on it.
Like dust on it, not using it. And it's like, oh, that was fun. But with the Surface Pro 4, I think you'd use it a lot. But maybe that's me overstepping.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Maybe that should be our poll.
Poll. Yeah, everyone would just do Surface Book because it's newer, though. I already tried that. They just all went for Surface Book.
Oh, yeah.
No logical reason why. It's new.
I think a Gen 4 device is going to be better than a Gen 1 device.
No, you're absolutely right. But I'm an insider, Sean. I like living on the edge. I enjoy.
Yeah, but you hate the Band 1.
I used it for a long time, though.
That's true, you did. That's true.
And I upgraded, so...
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. What do you think? Comments, live stream. Tell Zach what you think. Am I a bad friend for suggesting one over the other?
No, I appreciate the suggestions, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, anything else?
No.
All right, then we'll wind down here. Just so everyone gets like a heads up. Next week is the last podcast of the year where we're doing the whole live thing. I think we're yet to determine if we're gonna do something special like a
I don't know if we'll find the time.
I don't know. We might pre-record something and shove it up there, not on like Christmas week. But to be honest, with me flying to the States and Zach being here for Christmas and Boxing Day and New Year's, the next 2 Fridays after next week. So next week, the 18th, we're here. Then after that, it comes on Christmas Day and New Year's Day.
We're busy on them days, guys.
We're busy. Zach's going to be watching Star Wars for the 18th time and probably seeing his family for a few minutes.
Yeah, just a few.
And I'll be doing something in the States. Who knows? Family, Christmas, whatever. So, So tune in next week. Make sure to do that. It'll be the last after party, too, for the holidays. So if you want to do that, wish each other happy holidays. Make sure to tune in then. But
what we might do, we might have a big whole, everyone join the Skype call thing again. But do it smarter. We'll do it with less people, like a few people at a time next week.
Yeah. We'll figure out something. But make sure to tune in next week because obviously it's been a great year, but we want you to be there for the last one. But anyway, we'll run down normal style here, then we'll do the after party. So I am Sean Michael. And as always, I'm hosting along with Zach. And you can find me on Twitter at Sean_Michael_UK. And you can find Zach on Twitter at
ZachB_.
You find WinBeta on Twitter at WinBetaDOT.org, and you can find them on Facebook, find us on Facebook, and Google+, YouTube. You're probably watching that. Well, you can be on SoundCloud. We're on SoundCloud too. All that sort of thing. Make sure to share with your friends. Tell them how funny Zach and I are. Share with your buddies, all that. Join us for the live show if you can, after party if you can. If not, tweet us, comment at us, everything like that. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.